Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel dedicated to all things smartwatch, and we're on the web at smartwatchticks.com. You can find us right there. We got a box. Inside of here is another amazing Amazfit product. We've heard all about the Amazfit Verge, right? Well, this is the new Verge Lite. It's got a lot of the capabilities of the Verge and a bit different. We'll be talking about that as we get into it. But first, I'd like to let you know that we got this one from Geekbuying, and it is available in the show notes. Check for a discount. You can already see the price is about $30 less than what you pay for the actual Verge. And you're getting almost everything in the Verge Lite. So this might be the one for you if you're a little bit price conscious, okay? Inside, to go over it, we've got the 20-day battery life, the 1.3-inch AMOLED screen, all that's the same. You've got Android 4.4, iOS 9 or above. It's using Bluetooth 4.0, water rating at IP68, waterproof. You got the heart rate monitor, all these reminders, the different sensors. There are a couple of sensors missing. Ambient light sensor, the vibration. This one is in Chinese and English, so it's not the full international version. 360 by 360, 1.3-inch touch screen, all that's the same, 390 milliamp battery. So what's basically different between these? Well, let's look at this chart. Here's the Amazfit BIP. We're not talking about that today, but we've reviewed it before. Here's the Verge Lite and the Verge. Same screen display. Same numbers of pixels type of screen. This Lite is using Bluetooth 5.0, which is better power management and whatnot than the original, more expensive Amazfit Verge. This one has music control built into it in the Lite, and it says it's not available on the Verge. You've got the heart rate sensor. You've got the triaxial acceleration sensor. That's a fancy way of saying a pedometer. You've got ambient light sensor in both of them. Here you had a geomagnetic sensor and air pressure sensor. So if you're willing to give up those two things, which is like a compass and barometric pressure, or altitude, I guess, then the Lite has a bunch of other goodies going for it. They're both IP68. Look at this. Battery life on the Lite is 20 days. It's basically 5 days on the Verge. So the Lite's giving you the opportunity to have a longer standby life. Same size battery, though. 7 different sports, 12 different sports. If you're heavy duty into sports, specific sports, you may need to stick with the Verge. Otherwise, you got quite a bit of them here with this one. The straps are the same, the GPS is the same, and the price, yeah, about, $30 different in here, 40. So definitely worth taking a look at, which is what we're going to do as we unbox it right now. I took the liberty to slit the Scotch tape, but I haven't opened this one yet. I love to do that with you guys on camera. Let's pull it out. Oh, does this look familiar or what? We have a white box with the word Amazfit, and it's going to say, "Move beautifully." Sure enough. And there's the watch sitting right in the box. When you lift it out, you get a box within a box. Well, it's a little tight. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have to pull it up by this. Yay! And there you've got the charger and the manual. Did you guys see the Verge review we just did? Well, this is the Lite. Oh, okay, the manual's in there a little more loose. The packaging on the other one was a little different for the manual, but you have exactly the same charging dock, exactly the same size watch, exactly the same button on the side, the same little cover on it, the same band. It's a little different color in this one. You even have twisty, looks like a Mobius strip. Let's see, we have to flip it around that way. You have this little rubberized thing with a little prong on it. Where is it? Right there, so that when you stick the band through and you adjust that, it's going to lock it in place on your arm, so you don't have to worry about it wandering off. Plastic, rubber, lots of holes. It's identical in a physical appearance. Oh, no, it's different. Look at this. You have only one little mark on here, and the original Verge has 4 of them around the edge. or at least in this color and style. It's got a little writing there. What does that say? Home, it says on there, and the button. And the manual, really quick to go through it because it should be identical. It looked like I'm sweating. It's 90 degrees in here, folks. Oh my gosh. But I gotta knock these videos out. You realize we're doing a fresh review every other day right now? Every other day, and have been for months? This is insane. They just keep coming. I dreamed of this, but I didn't dream of this. Anyway, I'm really happy. I'm very, very pleased to bring all this technology to you guys. Sorry, I'm a little off camera there. I just paged through it quickly so you can see. Now, you notice the most of the manual is all this legalese stuff that the only thing you needed to know was at the very beginning. And there, now we're into another language. And that is basically to scan the QR code to get the app that you need in order to even use it, and then the basics of how to charge it and turn it on and where things are located. And that's how all of the Amazfit stuff works. It's not going to work out of the box. You cannot use it separate from the app. You're going to have to turn it on, pair it to the app, create an account in the app first before you can pair it, At least a half an hour or so to go through if you've never done it before. As I mentioned that with the Verge, I mentioned that with the Pace, I mentioned that with the Stratos, and here they all are, by the way. This is the rest of the Amazfit watch line, and then they have the whole band line, the My Bands. Here you go. Here's a comparison of the Verge Lite with the actual Chinese version of the Verge right there. Same charging dock, just a little bit different. So that's how you can tell if one of your classmates has got the Verge or the Verge Lite, huh? It's just the markings on here. Stratos, Pace, they're all here. We have reviews on all of them, and in the show notes, got a link over there to an entire playlist of nothing but Amazfit products that you can take a look at. All right, we have talked enough, haven't we? You guys are always telling me that. You talk too much. I agree. This is how it works. It snaps into there. It plugs into there. I'm going to charge it up, and then we will walk through what it'll do. Well, I'm glad we're reviewing the Verge Lite after we did the Verge. If you recall, in the review of the Verge, which you just saw, right, that watch paired with the Amazfit app. This one wants to pair with the My app. My is XIAOMI AMAZFIT, all kind of the same relationship dynamic, but this is a whole different app. The Amazfit had trouble with some of the aspects of the Amazfit app because it wanted the Amazfit Watch app, which is an old one that's been discontinued apparently. Anyway, the Verge Lite is looking to pair with the My app, MyFit. And so here's the MyFit app, and I have it in here ready to pair. We're going to call it a watch, I believe. After you pair this device, the following info will be collected and processed. Again, I remind you, all of these Amazfit things and the My things, the My Band 3, 4, 5, and all of the Amazfit watches, you have to set up an account on their app, whichever one it is, and you have to log in, and you have to give permission to collect things like your activities, sleep, heart rate, location, everything else. So here we go. This is what it's finding right now here in my environment. And the Amazfit Verge Lite is the one we're attempting to connect here. And open the MyFit to bind, which we've done. Finally, I'm paired. But you notice I'm on a different phone and I'm signed in under a different account name just so that I can get the pairing to work properly. Between what you just saw and now, I've done an entire video on comparing the Lite with the Verge itself because it was a mess. It's a total mess, and you'll learn why it took so long to pair these two together from that video, which will be coming up after this one. This one is specifically to actually talk about the Lite, the Verge Lite. And to do that, we needed to pair to the My Band, and we have. Boy, this is on a short timeout. Let me go over here to the profile section first to show you the generic stuff as we saw in the Amazfit app. Here we have all the things you can set goals and set up basic parameters, and then you add a device, and we've added the Verge Lite, and we are in there. And here's all the stuff going on with this one in particular. You have different watch face settings, and here's a small selection of the ones that are available. And you can add any of them you want to by tapping on it and saying sync. Now what happens? The Verge Lite ships with only one watch face installed. We've discovered that. And you have to add any more to the watch through this process. And it's a rather long process to go through to actually transfer these watch faces over here. So in a sense, the larger number of watch faces that are already pre-installed in the Verge gives you a bit more of an advantage, time-wise anyway, for working and changing the watch faces. Once they're on, as you saw, I can just quickly change between them. So that's watch faces. About adding new watch faces to the watch, we'll explore that later in another video yet to be put together. You have the ability to set this up so you can unlock the screen on your phone when your watch is nearby. That's a nice feature built into the MyFit app, and it requires you to give lots of deep permissions for the app to be able to activate that kind of stuff on your phone. Incoming call. Now this is something to talk about. You see, I have on for incoming call. I can get alerts and show contact information, and I can delay that. But I can't actually receive and make calls from the Verge Lite. This is the first major difference between this and the Verge. Let me show you something. I happen to have the Verge right here. You'll see this in the comparison video. Let's get them side by side and notice that the Verge has a microphone and a speaker, and the Verge Lite does not. That means you're not going to be able to handle phone calls because there's no way to talk or hear the other person, and all the other things that a microphone is needed for. In particular, the S-Voice or Bixby or whatever assistant that comes with these, and the Alexa integration, which in the previous video on the Verge you saw is now available to tie in with that voice system so you can actually use the Verge to talk through and to Alexa. Sorry if I just triggered your household. So without that, you can't basically push the side button and activate the voice. And you can't make and receive phone calls. So that could be enough to steer you guys away from this, unless that's not something you're after and you really want the sports stuff, in which case this thing could work really well at $40 or less or more cheaper than the other one. You got all the other kind of things, event reminders, watch alarms, app alerts, idle alerts, those things you can put on, and then more lets you do all of this stuff too. Not going to go into a lot of detail on the MyFit app because we've already reviewed it before, but just basically show you that those functions are here for this watch as well. What I do want to talk about is here's your lift your wrist to view to turn the time on, like that, to light up the screens, what I'm trying to say, and you can time sequence it so it won't happen at night, which is nice. Heart rate detection. Not all of these things apply to every one of the watches, of course, and so you have to kind of pick and choose. In particular, what doesn't apply are the watch display settings. Here are these widget type things that you have. We have one for step count, another one for heart rate, continuous heart rate, and then we loop back to time on the Verge Lite. We have those two and only those two. Here's a whole bunch of widgets, tiles that are available for a variety of different Amazfit products, but not for this one. We only have the continuous heart rate, like I said, and then the step count. And these, you can rearrange the order of them, but you can't move them up above this line that you can when you have other devices tethered and install them. So this doesn't work in the app, and you're restricted to just these two tiles here. When you look at the review of I'm getting into comparison, sorry, but the Verge you can add, you still can only have two, it appears, but you can have different ones. Let me leave it at that. So what else we got with the Verge? It says weather settings. Haven't really been able to do much with weather in here. It's here. And it's working. And you can set up the city that you want to and change that in the app. We got Shenzhen on there because that's where all these watches come from, which is pretty cool. There's your music player in here, but it's playing the music from your phone, I'm pretty sure, and of course not through the speaker because there is no speaker. And we're jumping back and forth between the app and the actual device itself. Status is showing you your step count, which was what we saw pretty much in that tile, your heart rate, and there's you go. This is a workout information, and this is something that you might really be interested in buying this for because it's the same as what's on the Verge, but you don't have any of the other capabilities with the speaker. So when you go into something like an outdoor run, it's going to acquire GPS and be able to track your track with the GPS positioning and your heart rate, right? And once you hit go, you'll be off and running. And you have that capability with things like walking and outdoor cycling. Indoor stuff, treadmill and whatnot, those do not. They just basically track time and heart rate, and maybe will give you a calorie count as well in the whole fitness section. Activities are your calendar events, whether we looked at music, notifications pushed from your phone, alarms, you can set up events, reminders, your overall settings, and a few other things like a count up, countdown timer, and find your mobile would trigger it when you're tethered. And you really do need to be tethered. You can go out with the watch away from your phone and they're not connected by Bluetooth, but you cannot unpair this thing from here. It's the last thing I'll do here, and I'll show you what happens. And that's some of the stuff you'll see in the comparison video. These things are really, really picky about who they're paired to, what account, what device, all of that stuff. Here's your basic settings. You have watch face settings. This is where you can literally select them from this point in the system settings, which, I can't get to system settings from here. I can get to brightness, and I can change it from here, or I can turn on auto brightness, which will allow it to dim to what it feels is the appropriate brightness. But for me right now, for the video, it's too dim. You have a flashlight. How do you like how I'm just totally jumping all over the place on this? Do not disturb. You can enable it. You can set times for it. You can use a smart version or leave it off. This is your battery saving stuff that you can go into. And this is the lock screen thing. And the screen is totally locked now. I won't be able to do, Won't be able to do anything with it until I press the button. But it looked like it just unlocked. Well, I guess it's still locked. It just returned to the watch face. Press the button, unlocks it. And now it's free. There's no other pages here, so those are your little icons that you can work with there. And we were back here in the more. We checked all of those things, and then the settings, and that was the watch faces. Screen on duration. Aha, here we go. 8 seconds it's set for. It seems like really short. I'm going to take it all the way up to 15 seconds. This is not a watch you're going to have on all the time. It's going to turn off regularly. The press and hold the button can be programmed for any of the sports that you typically use. So press and hold that, and it'll start, in this case, an outdoor run. And then the deeper level of system where you can get about information for your firmware and Bluetooth and regulations, reboot and shut it down, and do a complete factory reset, which is what happens basically when you unpair. It appears it completely takes you off as if the watch was brand spanking new. Is there anything else we want to show you here? Not really. That's everything in the app drawer. Up is this. Left is looping you. Oh, here's your your heart rate. Oh, here's your step count. Oh, here we're back to the watch face again. So no matter which way you go, you have 3 tiles that you can land on, and only when you're on the time one, whoa, timing out here, do you have access to the other things. So really a simple device. We looked at all of the stuff you've got here, idle alerts and unlocking the screen and doing things like that. Is this unlock the screen? Go to security, set security unlock, and then do the smart lock to unlock the phone screen, which is different than locking the screen on the watch. Got that? That one just locks the screen here so you can go underwater with it. This one is the feature that lets you lock your phone screen and have it unlock automatically with Bluetooth connection from your watch, so you don't have to constantly worry about shining it at your smiley face. All right, I've covered all of that stuff. We're about ready to wrap up, so I want to unpair this thing for you, show you that I actually unpair it. It's going to sync the data to the cloud in this account that I've logged in on before it does it, and then I'm going to actually unpair it. Come back here, watch. Aha, there you go. And now you see the watch says open the MyFit app, basically, to bind, and over here in the app, covering my account information, it's gone. You have to add a device. So it's basically completely disconnected from everything and completely empty at this point. Okay, that is the Amazfit Verge Lite, ready to pair, ready to buy, from Geekbuying. These guys are our sponsor for this one, and appreciate it. If you want to get one of these, to use the link in the show notes down below to pick it up. Good price already, and hopefully we can get a coupon discount for you as well. Wow, very interesting, these Amazfit watches, aren't they? Well, you've been watching Smartwatch Ticks, and we appreciate your subscription. Come on back, and for you guys that are subscribers, you're going to be the first notified of an upcoming new Amazfit device that, wow, looks incredible. So, yeah, get your subscription in right now. Click that little alarm bell, and within a week or so, I'd say you're gonna be in for a nice surprise. Okay, we'll see you again soon.